Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Tuesday, the day after Martin Luther King Day. Um, it's inauguration week. It's gonna be crazy here in the DMV because you already know what's going on. But those of you that are in my area, be safe. Don't go nowhere near DC this week, especially today and tomorrow. Just chill out. But I do want to talk about real quick our coaching staff. So it looks like everybody wants our coaches. Everybody wants our coaches. And you know what's funny? Our fan base always sits here and be like, "Oh, I don't want Kellen Moore." Or, John Fassel does too much on special teams, and he's going to be a one and done. Or I wanted to get George Edwards as a defensive coordinator, or why did they even bring him to the team if he's not really used in any big capacity? So it's a lot of things to talk about. Now, Kellen Moore is interviewing with the Eagles right now. Let's hope that that doesn't happen. I don't think that he would go to the Eagles because it doesn't make sense in my opinion. Now, I'm gonna explain to this real quick. So, to catch you guys up, if you guys didn't hear, so we know that Kellen Moore, the Eagles requested to interview Kellen Moore. The Eagles also requested to interview John Fassel, our special teams coordinator, and the Bears requested to interview George Edwards, our senior defensive assistant. Now, I want to keep George Edwards on the staff because you can always utilize him in different ways. He can help Dan Quinn with that 4-3 because that's what he does as well. I think George Edwards was a little bit more hands off on this team this past year because, Mike Nolan does something that he doesn't do. So, you know, we know that Edwards is a 4-3 guy and Nolan is a 3-4 guy. But with that being said, I just look at the whole situation as crazy. You know, we as Dallas Cowboy fans, we talk about how we don't want Kellen Moore here. Me personally, I don't have an issue with Kellen Moore. I know that he's a young guy, and I'm gonna tell you that with he has rose in the ranks very high. It's a reason why teams want him as their head coach. It's not it, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to start from somewhere. They see the genius in him. They see that he is going to be a guy that's going to be really good in the future. He could be the next Sean McVay or the next Kyle Shanahan. You know what I mean? Or the next Sean Payton. You know, he those guys had to start from somewhere. He started from somewhere. The Jones family gave him an opportunity, and he maximized on that. Now, we talk about yes, we want to see Kellen Moore run the ball more. As far as calling the plays and things of that nature. Again, that's a part of the learning process. But I think that this past year has really helped him out tremendously in his coaching, and I think that him being here and just being around this atmosphere with Dak Prescott and gaining rapport with his quarterbacks, I think it helps him as well to be even better play caller. Um, and the things that the defenses throw at him. Now, even with him being a young offensive coordinator and making a few mistakes here and there, we still have almost leading the league um, in yardage and points scored and things of that nature. So, the offense did pretty good this year. It's the defense that wasn't doing that didn't hold up their end, mainly because of Mike Nolan taking over. But I think that Kellen Moore said himself when he signed that 3-year deal. I think Jerry Jones saw this coming because all of a sudden when the offseason came and that Boise head coaching job came in fruition, all of a sudden Jerry's like, "Oh no, hell no, you're not about to get Kellen. Let me go ahead and just slide him back over here, sign him to a 3-year contract that makes sense." And Kellen wants to be here. Kellen even said himself, he said, "Look, we're building something great here. I'm a part of this. I want to continue to be a part of this. When Dak Prescott comes back, we can build on this." And I fully agree with that. I think that he needs to be here building with this team because let him go ahead and get that 3 years out because then maybe after that, then he can get an even better job somewhere else. I don't think Kellen Moore would go for that Eagles job. I think that that's a bunch of BS because I feel like you're going to go there. It's a lot of craziness going on in their organization, a lot of mismanagement. The GM's not, it's a lot of issues with the GM and the owner and things of that nature. So nobody wants to deal with that because I feel like if Kellen Moore goes over there and all of a sudden Kellen Moore is not what they thought he was, or doing what he did with the Cowboys, they're gonna oust him the first year. So I just don't think that you go to something unknown when you know what you got here. You're getting your money, and you're building something that you already started with the Dallas Cowboys. So my thing is, hey, you could kick the tires all you want to. An interview is an interview. You could take an interview. That doesn't mean that you're gonna take the job, and that doesn't mean you're gonna get the job. So I feel like the Eagles are just trying to just hire anybody right now. They're just trying to pick brains of these different guys, and just see who they can get. Now, I don't think that Kellen Moore's going to go over there. I really don't think so. I'll be shocked if he takes that position. I think it'd be stupid for him to take the Eagles head coach job. Now I know that it's a promotion, but it's not going to be a good situation over there because he is. It's one thing to be a coordinator and it's one thing to be a head coach. See, when you're a coordinator, you just have to watch one simple thing. You're dealing with the offense primarily. When you're a head coach, you're over a whole team. So you're over, dealing with the directors and the scouts on trying to get players drafted and things of that nature. I don't think that he's quite ready for the head coaching gig. I think he needs to stay as that coordinator right now and build that up, and that way he'll be better tuned for that maybe later in the future. But that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And I want to see Kellen still here. I want to see him because we got unfinished business. Definitely got unfinished business. So I think that Kellen needs to stay. Period. Now they're also trying to interview John Fassel. I don't know where that came from. That came out of left field, but I think that the Eagles just trying to get somebody. I know that John Fassel also wants to be here too. Now I think that if anything, I don't think John Fassel is would be a good head coach because he doesn't have the mentality of a head coach. See, John Fossil's good at what he's good at. He's good at special teams. Y'all remember when what's his name, Fisher, when Fisher got fired as the Rams coach, and that was when Fossil was still on the Rams staff, and they made him the interim head coach. He didn't know what he was doing. If you watch, what was it, All or Nothing that they were on? Was it All or Nothing or Hard Knocks? It was one of those when the Rams were on there. That was that year, and you can hear John Foster say like, "This is head coach." Like, it's kind of big for him. I think that John Foster is just one of those guys that just needs to stay a coordinator. Period, because his bread and butter and what he's good at needs to be that. I think he just needs to stay where he's at when it comes to that. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And then as far as George Edwards going to the Bears, they might slide around to get him from us because again they tried. Remember they tried to get George Edwards in 2018 as well. So it's a defensive coordinator position, so it's an upgrade to him because he's going back to what he does best. And I don't know what the Bears run. Do they run a 4-3? If it is, then you know George Edwards could take that position, but you know here it was either going to be him or Dan Quinn being the defensive coordinator because it was a two-headed monster there. So you had to pick one. But I would like to see George Edwards stay on the staff because, again, you got another guy that has defensive coordinator capabilities that's on your staff outside of your regular defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So I feel like with that, you can utilize both of these guys intangibly. But we'll see. I think that if one of three of these guys go to a team that they interview for, it'll more likely be George Edwards because of the simple fact that, you know, he is a good defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator with the Vikings. They see that. They know what his pedigree is. This is their second time around trying to get him. So they're going to do whatever they can to try to get him to be that coordinator over there. So we'll see what happens with that. We will see. We will see. Now, and Robert Quinn is over there too. So I don't know. So we'll see what happens. We talk about this team and what we have and what we're trying to get rid of, but people steady trying to take our players. People steady trying to take our coaches. So we're doing something right because other teams see what the Cowboys have. I think it's just we just got to get it together and we just got to put the pieces together. We get a good draft this year. I think that things will transpire. Things will come around. Things will get better. I like what Dan Quinn is talking about. Go watch his video his interview if you haven't seen that. definitely, I'm loving what he's talking about and what he's trying to do with this defense and get these guys back on, get these guys back on track. And because that's all you need, you get a defense that's 13, 14, top best in the league with how dynamic our offense is, we'll be fine. So let me know what you guys think about Kellen Moore interviewing with the Eagles, John Fassel interviewing with the Eagles, and George Edwards interviewing with the Chicago Bears. So let me know what you guys think in the comment box. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Peace.